What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan Grubb here, the Extreme.Outdoorsmen. If you guys are new here to the channel, make sure to go hit that subscribe button for me. Help me at 14,000 subs. I would really appreciate it. But you probably know what today's video is going to be about just because the title and the thumbnail. I'm going to be creating one bag full of lures that I would take out on the boat with me if I was just to take one bag for fall bass fishing. So it should be a pretty fun video. I'm going to be going over a bunch of different lures and how to work certain lures while you're out there fall fishing. But also, if you guys want to get any of the lures in today's video for 10% off, make sure to use my code EXTREME. It's popping up on the screen right now. I really appreciate it. And also, I just wanted to say thanks for everyone sitting down and watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Drop a comment below your favorite fall lure that you use to catch big smallmouth bass or big largemouth or any species of fish that you go for in the fall. Drop a comment below your favorite lure that you use. But in the fall season, guys, a lot of those fish are starting to transition from deeper water, and they're finding a lot of shallower bays or canals where they can chase bait fish. All those fish this time of year are trying to find big schools of bait to chow down on to get ready for the winter. They're getting super fat this time of year, and usually when you're out there you don't catch a ton of fish, but when you catch that one fish, it is usually a pretty fat largemouth or smallmouth bass. But it should be a pretty good video today. Hopefully you guys learn some tips and tricks for fall bass fishing, because I'm going to be filling up this bag with a bunch of goodies, a bunch of good lures, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy today's video, and we will see you here in a sec. Well, as you guys can tell, it is the fall season here in Michigan. The leaves are changing, and it is beautiful here in Michigan right now. I love this time of year. It's just super beautiful all around the state of Michigan, especially in the UP. Me and Gabby were just up around the UP, and it was gorgeous up there. But like I said, in today's video, I'm just going to be filling up one bag that I would take out on the boat with me for fall bass fishing. All the lures that'll fit in this Googan Squad money bag for fall bass fishing. So it should be a pretty good video. I really like fall bass fishing. It's pretty fun. It can be tough, but if you get that one bite, it's usually a freaking monster largemouth or a big smallmouth. But the fishing's pretty tough usually this time of year, just because, like I said, those fish have so much bait fish, or they're just searching for big schools of bait fish, and they're just chowing down, getting ready for the winter. So they have all these baits, but they also have bait fish that they are following, just eating constantly, getting super thick for the fall. But I'm going to be filling this up right now. This is actually the Googan Squad money bag. These things are super nice. I organize all my lures in the boat with these. I think I got like 5 of them. And they're pretty nice, guys. They're super thick, like plastic, and they got like a ceiling right there and a zipper lock. So they're pretty nice, guys. I really like these. But I think the first lure, just because in the fall, like I was talking about, they follow schools of bait. So one of my favorite lures to throw in the fall is the A-rig. I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but this lure absolutely smashes big bass. I don't know if you watched a couple of the videos earlier this year in the springtime, but me and my dad were slaughtering big smallmouth on these things, even big largemouth around some inland lakes around our house. And guess what? I got some Googan bait saucy swimmers on the back. And usually with these A-rigs, you don't want to put all of the same colors, and that is due to the fact that when those fish are following that big like A-rig style, it's almost like an umbrella rig they call it, but they're gonna want to pick one certain lure or one certain swim bait to hit. If they have all the same color, they're not gonna know what one to hit. But if there's one odd color, they're gonna usually hit that one. So usually this longer one, I'll put a longer swim bait, but I didn't have a longer one on me right now. So I really like throwing these A-rigs. Basically, you just cast them out, reel them in slow. And as you're reeling these in, you can also give it a quick like swing of your rod, and it'll make this rig like compress, so it looks like a bait cloud like going through the water. So I really like this. This is probably the first lure that I'm gonna be throwing in the bag for fall bass fishing. So right there, that one is always a super good lure in the fall. But next up, I would have to say the crankbait, and this is actually a Googan Squad Recon crankbait. I use this pretty much all spring, and I caught a ton of smallmouth bass on this thing, and it is just a really good crankbait. I actually threw it the other day out on Lake St. Clair, but I didn't actually get anything on it due to the fact that the fishing's pretty tough out there on Lake St. Clair. I caught one smallmouth all day. My dad didn't even catch anything, so that's pretty crazy. But I love throwing these crankbaits. Crankbaits are usually the go-to in the fall for either largemouth bass or smallmouth. So I really like throwing crankbaits. That's one of my favorite Googan Squad ones right there. So, and also when you're throwing crankbaits, you always want to be making some type of contact, whether it's rocks or weeds, ripping it off the weeds, or just contacting rocks, and they just love when it's ripping out of the weeds, or some type of contact when you're using these. I don't know what it is about that, but they love when it's hitting some type of weeds or some type of rock. So next lure going in the money bag, I think next up would have to be jerk baits, and these are always super good cold water baits. I got a couple different Googan Squad, couple junior scouts. These are the smaller ones. I'm gonna grab a couple of them out real quick and show you some close-ups, but like I said, those fish are just chowing down on bait fish, so I'm gonna match the hatch. I got a couple different jerk baits right here that I'm gonna be throwing, and I got a couple more in the boat right now on my rods tied on that I was catching fish with the other day. But I think this one's called like Sexy Shad color. Sexy Shad. But right there, that jerk bait is pretty dang good, guys. I really like this one. And then also this one right here, this is probably my go-to here around some inland lakes around my house. I also have one of these that look like a perch that I throw out on Lake St. Clair for smallmouth, because those smallmouth love eating perch throughout the year. So I really like these jerk baits in the fall season. It's pretty cold, so you want to make long pauses with those jerk baits. And these jerk baits catch big fish, guys. Me and my dad have caught some giant fall smallmouth bass out on St. Clair with jerk baits. So jerk baits is the next one in the box, or in the bag, the Googan Squad money bag. Next up would probably have to be some spinner baits. I got a couple different spinner baits right here, guys. A bunch of Googan Squad ones. And it just depending on where you're fishing, I got a couple like shad style ones, and then also like a perch style one right there if I'm like working St. Clair. Or I've caught some big smallmouth bass on the white one out on Lake St. Clair. So these spinner baits can be really good lures in the fall season, just because it's imitating like some sort of bait fish that's swimming through the water. And I'm just gonna take them out real quick and show you guys some close-ups, because I really like these spinner baits. I've been catching fish on them all spring and all summer long, and it just works its way into the fall season, because basically this is just a bait fish swimming through the water. And these willow leaf and the Colorado blade right here is just flashing through the water, making a ton of action. And these spinner baits do pretty good in the fall. Basically with these spinner baits, you just want to make a ton of casts, throw them out and reel them in slow. You can work these a bunch of different ways, whether you're just reeling it in constantly to the boat, or making a couple pauses, jerking it, and making these blades flash in the water. And it seems like I always do good when I jerk it a couple times, getting these blades to flash, and those fish really like that. But there's that one right there. I've done pretty good with largemouth with the white and chartreuse one right there, but I don't know what it is about just the white one, but I do really good with smallmouth bass on the white one. So next up is to put these spinner baits in the money bag. Got a big goodie bag of baits. But next up, if they're not hitting the spinner bait, usually my next one is either a jackhammer chatterbait or one of these click baits. And I got a bunch of different color click baits right there. That's just the green pumpkin. And then this one right here is like a bluegill color. And this one almost looks like a perch. And I'm gonna grab this one out just because I was throwing it not too long ago and was catching some decent smallmouth bass on it. Also guys, I don't know if you watch one of my recent videos, but me and Blue Jays Outdoors, one of my buddies that I've been fishing with a lot lately, we were out on Lake St. Clair, and he actually hand dipped this Googan Squad clickbait and he made it custom pink. And he also dipped this trailer in pink. And we straight hammered some pretty big largemouth bass, just working a bunch of canals over in Lake St. Clair, and it was pretty fun. I don't know what it is about that pink, but they destroyed it. We caught a ton of fish on the Googan Squad clickbaits, the pink one, and I had a bunch of people asking me where to buy these, and it's just funny, they don't even have, or they don't make pink ones, so we buy the all white one, and he hand dips it with pink. So it's pretty cool. That one has been doing pretty good lately. But I'll show you this one also that I've been doing good on. I think this one's called the Sunrise Craw. And I've caught a lot of fish throughout the year on this one right here with the gold blade. I don't know what it is about the gold blade around here in Michigan, but it seems like those fish really like the gold blade, whether it's a Googan Squad clickbait, a jackhammer chatterbait, a spinnerbait, whatever it is. They like, or they love hitting the gold blades. But that would have to be the next one that goes in the Googan Squad money bag. Next up would have to be some jigs, and I rigged up a couple of my jigs right here. This is just a Googan Squad jig. I think it's called a little jig, or I'm not 100% sure what it's called, the name of it, but this one has caught me some pretty nice fish through the spring and the summer. And in the fall season too, they also work really good, just dragging them super slow along the bottom. And that trailer right there, I don't know if you can hear that, but it has rattles in it, and it really gets their attention when you're just dragging it or popping it along bottom. So I really like that one right there. I think that trailer is called the Googan Baits Chunk. But also this one works pretty good. It's got like orange in it, almost like a craw. And the black and blue one does really good as well. So I really like that one. On like cloudy days, the black and blue does good. So the jigs are going in the money bag. All kinds of lures in here for fall. Next up, we got a couple drop shots. These always do super good in the fall season. I got this one right here, the pink one. I did pretty good throughout the summer on this one. And then also this Googan Baits drag and drop. I've done pretty good on these. They work pretty good, guys, throughout the fall season. Those fish are tending to move to shallower water, but we were actually out on St. Clair a couple days ago, and we found a ton of fish in like 15 to 20 foot of water, and we caught a couple fish on these drag and drops. And also the other day, me and my buddy Blue Jays were out catching some largemouth on these baits right here. So they work super good out on Lake St. Clair, anywhere that you're fishing. It could be a pond, a lake. So next up in the money bag, and I got a couple more lures. This is actually just the single swimmer swim bait. It's a Googan saucy swimmer, and I really like this one. This is probably my go-to color out on Lake St. Clair, just because it looks like a little bait fish that's swimming through the waters. But that one works really good, just swimming it super slow along the bottom, trying to make contact with some rocks or just some weeds. But if you find weeds, guys, you're gonna find fish. but that one right there does super good. Going in the bag. Last but not least would have to be the Googan Squad Hummer. In the fall, guys, those fish are just chasing bait fish, and if they see something on top, they're gonna chase it. I got a white one right here. I've done pretty good. I caught a couple fish the other day on this one around some weeds. It was shallower weeds. I caught a couple pike and a couple largemouth on this one right here, but I also have the black and blue, which I caught a ton of fish on all year long in the springtime and the summertime. I was throwing that black and blue one right there with the gold blade, and like I was saying earlier, that gold blade, I don't know what it is about that, but it seems like they always love the gold blade. But that one right there has caught me a ton of big largemouth bass throughout the 2021 season. But got a couple different top waters right there. Going in the bag. Well, got a bunch of lures in the Googan Squad money bag. It is time to zip it up and head off to the water, and I'm gonna try to film a video using some of these baits, catching fall largemouth bass or even fall northern pike, because seems like the northern pike bite has been pretty good around this area lately when my dad and me go out on the lake. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up today's video, guys. Drop a comment below and let me know your favorite fall lure that you catch big smallmouth bass or largemouth bass on. But that is gonna end today's video. We will see you in the next one.